I think that when people think of Lindsey, they think of her as a compassionate person. She cared about people. She accepted everybody the way they were. And that's a real special talent and a gift. And I'm really proud of her for that.
She was very social and, as Maureen said, determined. And so whether it be a shunt revision in Spokane, Washington, or Pensacola, Florida, or wherever she was, she fought through all of that. But she was very alive and just full of life.
I think a word that comes to my mind is tenacious. She was strong. She, when she got her mind set on something, there was no stopping Lindsey. And she had a lot of ups and downs throughout life. I think we counted maybe 18 surgeries all throughout her life, and she worked hard to bounce back from every single one. She loved people, and she always had a smile on her face. So that's some of the things that I think about when I think Lindsey.
When Lindsey was born, she was born with spina bifida. And Dr. Ed Kosnick, who was her neurosurgeon, referred us to Easterseals.
You can imagine it was a bit of a shock. We were told about Easterseals in the hospital, and we immediately contacted the organization and started gathering information.
We were very, very lucky and fortunate that we had a tremendous support system.
It was a process. And as Bill has alluded to, the people that we met there, from Judy Barber to all kinds of people, were just so passionate about the organization and just opened their arms to us and gave us all the help and support that we could possibly need at that time.
She had her first surgery the day after she was born. They waited a little bit of time. With spina bifida, there is, the possibility of shunts and so on. And we fell into a team of people who were just stunningly caring, competent, and just giving. They really were. We've just, and still, even though as we sit here today and she's not with us, the 34 years, the compassionate people involved in her life were just, it's beyond gratification. It just tells you great things about people, folks, and what can happen when something comes your way that you don't expect and is maybe not very positive. We wanted to participate because what Judy was able to do as a physical therapist is kind of teach us so that we could work with Lindsey to make these things happen. Easterseals, I think maybe one of the main ingredients of not only the mission of Easterseals is the involvement of the parents and caregivers. I think it's so important for the nurturing of a child to know, and for us to be off campus, helping out at home.
She was a big advocate of Easterseals, and where asked would speak about the benefits of Easterseals. So she was very, very passionate about this organization as well, and appreciative of what they did for her.
I think the word they used, she was an ambassador. Yeah. She spoke at events. She certainly participated and encouraged people to come and join in. So Easterseals was still is a huge part of our lives, and always will be.
From the time Lindsey was probably 4 years old, she was in dance class. When Lindsey was born, there were no guarantees that Lindsey would walk, let alone dance, and she just took to it. She loved it. She would put a big smile on her face, and so when we had an opportunity to do something for Easterseals, they had suggested that they had a dance program. It had been suspended for a while, and we thought that would be perfect. We would love to fund that in her memory. So that's how we got involved.
When we first engaged with Easterseals and the progress that Lindsey made here, and we saw all the other activities and people and so on going on, I was just truly drawn to the effort and the mission of Easterseals. And as Maureen, mentioned about the dancing and so on, Lindsey learned to walk here. So the mission was so important to us that we wanted to volunteer, we wanted to contribute, and just be a part of this great organization.
It's so heartwarming to see. They seem to truly enjoy it. They're enthusiastic. The person who's running the program, she just gives it her all. She's just done an amazing job. So it's really great.
It's interesting because I've never been a dancer, still can't dance. But for whatever reason, it brings out the personality of all the people engaged. And it's just fun to see these kids express themselves. And they're just so outgoing and enthusiastic. And so it brings great joy to watch. And hopefully she inspired people with the hope. The friends and the people who are, again, part of her life, it was very much a collective effort, and hopefully people felt that just by her sheer presence and tenacity that, you know what, I can do this too. Keep going and fight.
Yeah, when the going gets tough, get going. And there were times in her life that maybe things weren't going the way that she would like them to go, and she would move. She would say, this is a situation I need to, explore some new opportunities for my life, and she would do that. And she didn't wallow in self-pity. I never think of Lindsey that way at all. And that's what I admired about her a lot.
I don't think there's any doubt that the mission and effort that people make here is life-changing. And it might not be your child. Just embrace these kids, and they're miracles. They're miracles. And we could not be more appreciative of the job, and 40 years later, we're still involved. So, and we will be forever.
I don't know what we would have done without a place like Easterseals. Where would we have turned to? Where would we have gotten not only the emotional support, the physical support? These people are talented, they're trained, they know what they're doing. We just owe her success to Easterseals.
It's given me my life, so it's given me what was supposed to be taken, gave it back. I think it's important that when people do give money, they know what they're giving it to, because it's not going to superficial things, it's going to these kids that need it.